Good morning, colleague journalists, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Please accept my deepest gratitude for responding to the invitation to attend this morning's press conference, which will not last more than 5 minutes, I promise you. Not more than 5 minutes. So if there's a timekeeper here, please take note. I'm holding it in my personal capacity as a senior journalist and a resident of number 4 Puma Street, Adentan, Accra. This press conference is principally to set the records straight and share a few comments on the raging storm over the molestation of 2 City FM reporters, Caleb Kudah and Zoe Abubedu Ado. On Wednesday, 12 May 2021, around 5:40 p.m., I granted an interview at Kumasi Airport to Joy FM. Admittedly, the information I had was sketchy, so I reluctantly went ahead to speak to the issue. I began by instinctively and profoundly expressing my tenderest solicitude to and fullest solidarity with the 2 journalists. Indeed, I faulted Caleb, whom I thought was openly filming a video at the Ministry of National Security before his arrest. I, however, added pointedly that the alleged ethical breach did not and still does not justify the inordinate use of force and intimidatory tactics against the poor journalists. I roundly condemned the massive invasion of City FM premises by security operatives to scale up the degree of intimidation against the entire staff and management. I again said the response by those security operatives was totally out of proportion to the so-called offense by Caleb. It clearly violated the law of proportionality. Unsurprisingly, my condemnation of the office invasion and physical brutalization was muted, while my comment on Caleb's ethical style was tilted and overly highlighted, obviously, to achieve certain sensational ends. As a student of leadership, I have learned that a leader is not afraid to change course when confronted with fresh information which challenges his earlier assumptions. As I indicated, the information I had before the interview was scanty. What is available now is sufficient, as legal luminaries, distinguished ethicists, and social critics slice and dice the issue from all angles. This is healthy for a free society such as ours, for viewpoint diversity to be manifestly venerated, not maliciously castigated. I also take note of the righteous indignation and of emotional overdrive over the issue. I therefore render my sincerest apology for any misimpression created that I was insensitive to the plight of the 2 journalists, but excited about the excesses by the national security operatives. Indeed, those excesses pass for wickedness at its most naked nastiness. and I totally denounce it. Under my presidency, attacks or threats against journalists, irrespective of the perpetrators and victims, have received outright condemnation. So there's no way the latest ones against City FM journalists will be swept under the carpet. Not at all. Indeed, the ordeal as narrated by the journalists is heart-rending, soul-wrenching, mind-boggling, and earth-shattering. The intrinsic value and inherent dignity of the two as human beings were blatantly violated. Their freedom as journalists too was maliciously abused. The misbehavior of the national security operatives can exert a significant chilling effect on the media landscape as a whole, and this must be confronted and punished. In view of this, I urge the Committee of Inquiry set up by the Ministry of National Security to quickly move into action to impartially unravel all the circumstances surrounding the issue. The findings and recommendations should also be implemented with urgent promptitude to give meaning to our motto as a land of freedom and justice. The Lord is our refuge and strength. I thank you for your kind attention. God bless us all. We all know we are not in normal times, so the normal rules for a press conference regrettably will not apply. So I thank you for coming.